The Houston Texans have never had a ton of success in the NFL. In their existence since 2002, they have not made a ton of noise, especially in the playoffs. Most of their fame comes from superstar players they've drafted or big debacles within the organization as of recently. Today, I want to sit down and talk about Deshaun Watson and what is going on with the Texans as an organization, where I think they're headed, and what Deshaun should and shouldn't do in this situation. Before I get fully into that, please do subscribe and like the video. I know a lot of you are new. We got a great shout out from Titans Cards on Instagram. Please do go down there. If you haven't seen that giveaway and join it, it is awesome. We're very, very happy that he decided to do that. I'm glad we have a ton of new subscribers, so if you're watching to this point, please do comment, like the videos, tell me what you like about it, tell me what you don't. So, without further ado, I want to get into this situation. So, to set the scene, the Deshaun Watson situation right now is the fact that he wants out. Deshaun Watson wants out of the organization, and as of right now, it looks like it's going to come down to that. I don't think that it's tough because we don't know exactly what's happening. All we have are the rumors, and the rumor mill is not always right. There are a lot of false accusations and false quotes, and things don't always happen like we think they do. Things could be super hostile in that environment, but things could also be better than we might think as of right now. Deshaun has made it clear, however, through tweets and song lyrics, and he tweeted out just literally a song, and in the lyrics of the song talks about how he went from a 2 to a 10 on an anger level, and everything seems to be going the wrong directions. It almost seems like this whole situation is spiraling out of control. Deshaun Watson is a top 10, top 8, top 5, whatever you want to call him. He is a fantastic quarterback, one of the best in the NFL, especially when it comes to being a young, productive quarterback who can use his legs. He is an incredibly great player. Unfortunately, he got drafted by the Houston Texans, where they haven't done anything. Their coaching situation has been a mess. They had a chance to, make some noise last year, and they ended up, not doing that. It's all in all been a pretty bumpy ride for Deshaun. Other Texans players like J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, Zach Cunningham, Jadeveon Clowney, all of these guys were draft picks. They were drafted by the Houston Texans, and they all got contract extensions with the Houston Texans. A few of them are still there today. Houston has done a great job of, drafting young talent, bringing them in, and getting them money. It's what they've been doing their entire existence. What they haven't done a great job of is winning. And when you're a player and you've already been paid, the only thing left is to win. Jadeveon Clowney's a great example. He had been paid. He'd been in the NFL. He'd had his injury concerns, but he was seen as an elite player. He left because he wanted to win. It wasn't about the money. He'd already been paid. The Texans aren't going to, not give you a contract because they're worried about the money. They have been doing that. They just gave Deshaun one of the biggest contract extensions in the NFL. He's getting paid upwards of $40 million a year to play football. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? And I'm not even saying that Deshaun should just, shut up and play, because he has a right. This team has been dysfunctional. The owner of the Texans came down to Deshaun and was like, Deshaun, I want to talk to you. I know things aren't going too well. We just fired Bill O'Brien. Let's work things out. You can be a part of our GM hiring process. We can mend things over, and you can be a big part of the decision making. You're a football guy. We love you as a person and as a player, and we love to have you integrated into this franchise. And do you know what happened a couple days after that? The Texans hired a general manager without even talking to Deshaun. And that was kind of the breaking point with him. He was like, you come up to me, you tell me, things are going great and we want to involve you in the decision-making process, and then you go ahead and hire somebody without talking to me. How dumb does it get? You don't do that to your franchise quarterback. Why even extend the arm if you're going to go off and hire this guy? I don't care how good he is at his job. I don't care if it's the perfect hire. At least talk to Deshaun. Send him a text. Call him. Talk to somebody close to Deshaun. At least make it known that we're going to get this guy. You good with that? If he says no, convince him otherwise. But to offer the hand, to give him the extended arm to say, Deshaun, here you are. Here, come into the front office and help us. And then to pull it away at the last second and then hire somebody behind his back is stupid on every definition of the word. Deshaun, a lot of people in the organization are talking about how they don't think Deshaun will ever play in a Texans uniform again. Deshaun isn't in Houston. He said he might never go back to Houston. He recently, today, as of this recording, he was telling protesters for his departure of the Texans, who they were organizing a protest for Deshaun in Houston to be like, Deshaun, come back. This is a non-violent protest to bring back their franchise quarterback. Deshaun shut it down and was like, I'm glad you guys are doing this for me, but COVID is not allowing of this, and I don't want you to do this. But Deshaun's aware of what's happening. He knows. He's not oblivious. He's not sitting in the closet dark and gloomy and just waiting to get traded. He is actively participating in the shenanigans. And I think that he has that right because this Texans team has failed him time and time again. Trading away Deshaun's number one option, DeAndre Hopkins. What were they doing? For David Johnson, who, granted, hasn't been bad this year, but Deshaun needed a wide receiver more than he needed a running back. DeAndre was perfect for that team, and he'd been with that team since 2012 when he got drafted by them. What were they thinking? Bill O'Brien kind of screwed this team over. The Laramie Tunsil trade, which looked pretty good at the time, I have to say, getting a very good lineman like him is pretty necessary, and that is helping out your quarterback. But it didn't work out. Laramie's been somewhat hobbled, and yeah, he's an elite player, but he didn't play great the first time he got there, and at the end of the day, they are missing out on their number 3 overall draft pick that they got this year for being that bad. The Dolphins now have it. So, Deshaun set his anger levels from a 2 to a 10, and right now, it's looking like he might get traded, and that sucks, especially for a small market team who's willing to pay him. They know how good he is. Everybody in the league does. If you're a quarterback-needy team like the Jets, who I know have the 2nd overall pick, but I'd rather have Deshaun Watson than any of these prospects coming in. Deshaun is a young quarterback who's already proven himself. We don't know anything about these guys, except that they look like they might be good in the NFL. Deshaun's proved that. So, at this point in time, it's looking like he might get traded, and if I'm the Texans, I don't care what it takes. You get Deshaun back on your team. You have your entire team go to him in person and discuss this with him. This seems like it's just been a lot of communication errors and not consulting with Deshaun after you said you would. I actually do think Nick Caserio, the GM they hired, is a good hire. I like him. He has shown to be a character guy. He has a lot of success in the NFL. He's a good person to have as your GM. He's got connections. I think that was a good hire. Why didn't you talk to Deshaun? Now, Nick Caserio should go down to Deshaun and be like, dude, I don't know what's been happening, but we're here to change things. And the first thing we want to do with you is get this sorted out. They need to do this all in person. This cannot be done over text messages or a Zoom call or a phone call. COVID willing, you talk to Deshaun in person and you sort this out the best you can. They've already made promises to him that they haven't kept, so I don't know if Deshaun is going to listen. But they should make the attempt. Some of the teams looking after him, the Panthers, the 49ers, honestly, any team, even if they have a good quarterback, they're looking for him because he's that good. He's a top 5 quarterback in my eyes. But, man, this is a really tough thing for Texans fans. They've already kind of wasted J.J. Watt's career. They just lost their franchise wide receiver, who's top 3 in the NFL. Will Fuller tested positive for PEDs. Jadeveon Clowney left 2 years ago to go to the Seahawks and has been trickling down the league ever since. This Texans team has gone through blow after blow after blow. They got the 3rd overall pick this year, but they're not going to even have it. That goes to the Dolphins. This is a really stupid and shitty situation to be in. I feel bad for Texans fans, like I've said. But the number one thing you guys got to worry about is Deshaun. Getting him back is the number one priority. If you cannot do that, if you somehow cannot get Deshaun back, first thing on your mind should be trading for a top pick in this draft. There are 5 good quarterbacks. Honestly, there are 5 great quarterbacks in this draft. You go after one of them. There isn't much talent in the league. I mean, Carson Wentz is, who knows, if they can get him, great, test him out. If they can get Jacoby Brissett, I think that would be pretty cool too if the Colts were willing to give up for him. Another player, maybe on the outs, Jimmy Garoppolo. There are a few guys, Mitchell Trubisky. There are a few guys that have a little bit more time to prove themselves and could be very helpful to this team, especially if it can't get Deshaun. But this team was bad with Deshaun. What makes anybody think they're going to be better? Nick Caserio is going to have to work some magic. He's going to have to get a great receiver in, especially if Will Fuller ends up leaving, which he very well might. But at the same time, they might need to keep him if they can't get anybody else. So with that said, this situation sucks. I'm hoping Deshaun decides to stay. Even as a Titans fan and a Saints fan, obviously I'd love him to go there, and Titans are in the same division as the Texans, and I want him to leave. But this small market team, these Texans fans have been loyal, and I think they deserve this break. At least keep their franchise guy. So that is the Deshaun Watson situation. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, please like and subscribe if you got this far, especially if you haven't already. Stick around. We're going to keep posting NBA and NFL content. We will have videos coming out this week. I know this video should be coming out Monday or Tuesday. Or not Monday. Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll come out by then. So, thank you so much for watching. We will catch you next time, and peace.